Ooh. What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. Hope you're all doing well and having a good night. Get in there. Thank you for joining. Oh shit, we've got the volume up there. We are here to do the preview and the team news and the latest evening's news, of course, of Manchester United and our preview of the game tomorrow against Burnley in the Premier League at Turf Moor. Hope you've all had a good night, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Cool Homies, Joe Boom Boom, Berber, Ryan Wheeler, Amit Kumar, Kingslayer, Stephen Carr, Jay, Nathan Best, and everybody else who's in here as well. Thank you so much for joining us and getting in the preview. Do get yourself involved in the live chat throughout as we go along. We're going to be getting into the latest United news, of course, all the team news ahead of the Burnley game, and all the rest of it. So get yourself involved. It's a fully interactive show. Have your say. Also, do us a massive favour at the start of this stream and smash that thumbs up button on it if you haven't done so. Drop a little cheeky like on the video. That'll help us out no end. And give it a share around on social media as well. Right, okay, so gash at the weekend in the FA Cup. Absolute bunch of bottle merchants. Got to put that one to bed, don't we? Move on, obviously, get a good result against Burnley. We're desperate, absolutely desperate for a positive result here. Not only a good result, but I would like to actually see a nice performance. I'd like to see something that actually resembles a Manchester United team, in all fairness. I think we deserve that as fans in this particular game. I'm sure the team and the players and Rangnick and everybody involved with the club is absolutely desperate to do so as well. But you've got to do it. You've got to go and do it. And we haven't been very much consistent or looking likely to beat anybody at this moment in time. I mean, we just got dumped out of the cup to a fucking championship side. So we're not exactly looking brilliant in terms of confidence, in terms of the team, in terms of chemistry, in terms of creatively, in terms of, finishing chances off. We're looking like we're lacking a lot of confidence. The guys have got to step up. This is Manchester United. And we're coming up against Burnley, who are in a fight for relegation. Yeah, they're going to be backs to the wall. They're going to be fighting hard. They're going to be fighting for their place in the Premier League. But this is fucking Manchester United. And we're fighting for top four. And so we've got to take the game to them, away from home, get right at them. Attack, create goals. They're going to be a physical side. They're going to maybe be hard to break down in the final third. But, United need to make our final quality or our final third quality shine through in terms of, what we've got to offer. We've got great players up there. We just haven't been able to see them be clinical in front of goal recently, and it's a joke. So these guys need to step up. I'm talking to you, Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, you're not exempt from this, lad. Just because you're the greatest of all time. He's got to start getting his shooting boots on too and converting these chances, As does people like Rashford, Marcus Rashford in the last game, a.k.a. Trashford. He needs to sort himself out, get back on track. This is poor so far this season from him. How's about Bruno Fernandes? Although you might be able to pull the strings, how's about you fucking finish off one of these chances, lad? So we've got to definitely do major improvements in the final third, both in terms of creating chances, but also finishing these chances off. Finishing's been a major problem for United this season in general, but recently it has been a trial and a tribulation. Good evening there, Lucy Nicholas, Shazad Ahmed, hope you're doing well tonight. Joe Boom Boom, Ellie, an absolute legend, is in here as well. Naf, Ryan Wheeler, and everybody else, thank you very much for getting in. Yes, do drop your thumbs up, do subscribe. You only need to be subscribed for 1 minute in this on this channel to subscribe, to chat in the live chat. So get your thoughts and opinions in throughout. Let me just get into the team news before we cover predictions and all that sort of stuff. Let me get into the latest team news from Manchester United from Ralph Rangnick. Obviously did a press conference earlier on today, gave us a lot more news. And this is pretty much the situation, really. So there are going to be a couple of players definitely out. That is Fred and Alex Telles. They have both tested positive for COVID-19. Let's get some love hearts in the live chat for little Fred and little Alex Telles, please, guys. The Brazilian connection there. Both getting the vid. So not good. Get well soon to those guys. Hopefully they'll be back in training very, very soon. But yes, it's not good news for Manchester United, really. But then again, is it really that bad? Fred's not exactly the biggest loss for us in the midfield, especially now. I guess Pogba's coming back into the team potentially. So, I'm not that bothered about losing Fred, in all fairness, for a couple of games. It could have been worse, is all I'm saying. It would have been a nightmare if it was Bruno Fernandes or someone like that. Fred and Alex Telles, we've got Luke Shaw there as well, who can come and play. So, it could have been worse, is all I'm saying. But get well soon to those guys. Love hearts in the live chat for Telles and Fred. But this is what Rangnick had to say, in regards to some of the other players that we've got potential question marks about. So obviously in the last game, Raphael Varane came off with a potential knock. Just seems like it was a precaution at this moment in time, because it does look like Raphael Varane will be starting in the game tomorrow. We know that Eric Bailly's come back from AFCON recently. He's got some sort of a knock. We also know of Lindelof is still, I think, got an illness. And, the situation with Phil Jones is, well, he's Phil Jones. So that basically means it's going to be Maguire and Varane at the back there. And Varane is going to be fit. So, this is what he said about him earlier on today. He said, I think he has arrived. He seems to be physically fit. He has no issues with injuries anymore. I thought until he had to be substituted against Middlesbrough, he did extremely well together with Harry. Which is true. I think Varane didn't really put a foot wrong in that game. And he's definitely our best centre-back defender this season. There's no real doubt about that, in my opinion. We've seen some other people come in. Lindelof's probably the most improved, but I think Varane has been the most solid and just looked like he actually is a decent standard Manchester United defender. Whereas his partner, Slabby Maguire, has looked like half a fucking act of, I don't know, Laurel and Hardy or some shite, rather than a centre-back pairing. More of a fucking comedy duo half. But anyway, he never mind, Varane's been good. And this is what he said. He said he probably played his best game, knowing it was a championship team, but a very ambitious championship team. And I'm happy to have him back for tomorrow's game. So, yeah, that's nice. I mean, Varane was pretty decent for us, but, like he's just said there, though, we were coming up against the championship side. We still managed to concede. We managed to lose on penalties. It's a fucking shit show. But he said, hopefully we can save him in the same fitness and we can see him in the same fitness and shape and in the same form that he's played Middlesbrough for the next upcoming games. Get in there, my son. That's big, big news and big positives that Varane is going to be fit for the game, obviously, and that hopefully he's got the worst of the season's injuries behind him. We know that he's been played throughout his career with injury issues. He is an injury-prone melt. But if you can stay fit for the rest of the season, that's going to be a big plus point for Manchester United. We need him. He is our best centre-back, so get in there, my son. Right, okay, other team news we've got then, guys. So, yeah, as I say, Telles and Fred are both out there. Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes both picked up minor issues, of course, during the FA Cup game against Middlesbrough, and they were sort of, but they are expected to play and be fit enough to play in the game at Turf Moor. So hopefully Bruno Fernandes, hopefully Sancho starting. Rangnick's obviously going to make a couple of changes from the game against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, such as Dean Henderson. I'm sure David De Gea is going to be coming back in the goal. I mean, who do you think should start in goal, guys? Hendo was pretty decent in the last game, but, I mean, he's just going to be the occasional cup keeper for us this season until, I guess, he's eventually sold in the summer when he gets completely disheartened with playing zero football. So it's got to be De Gea, doesn't it? De Gea has been our best player this season, not just the best goalkeeper out of our goalkeepers, but actually our best player this season. He's been the most important, the one that's made the biggest difference, the one that's saved us the most. So to me, it's got to be Davide starting in goal. There's no conversation there. Also, Anthony Elanga could be in line to feature as well. We'll have to wait and see what goes on there. Obviously, he missed the penalty in the FA Cup. Let's get some love hearts in there for Elanga. We stand with Elanga. There were reports, I saw an article in Sky that he did receive some racial abuse after the game, which is fucking abhorrent. And these people are absolute scum who are sending Anthony Elanga any sort of abuse at all, never mind racist abuse, for missing a penalty in a game when he's a 19-year-old and there's players who are, more experienced who could have stepped in front of him to take it. It's not his fault whatsoever, is it? So the fact that he's got any sort of abuse is a disgrace. Let's get some love hearts in the live chat for Anthony Elanga. And, I do want to see him feature in the game. I don't know if it's going to be starting, but I do want to see him feature and given a chance, straight away to redeem himself, so to speak. Not that it's his fault at all, in my opinion. So Luke Shaw's probably going to start the game as well, and Paul Pogba is more than likely going to be coming back in with what's happened with Fred as well. So let's have a look at the team lineup here. This is my predicted lineup for tomorrow. Let's just make it a little bit larger. That's what she said. We've got Ronaldo starting up top. That's a contentious one. He did play the full time in the last game, the FA Cup, extra time and all that. He is getting on a little bit. He's just turned 37. Is he going to be fit enough to come in and play there, really? Well, in my opinion, he will start because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. We know Cavani is back in the side, so Rangnick's given us an update on both Jesse Lingard and Edinson Cavani today and said that they both are back now in the squad and will be fit to feature in the game tomorrow. So that is good news. We've got Andreas Cavani coming back, but they've given a little bit of time off in the FA Cup game. Will he get straight back into the team and slot in there instead of Ronaldo? Or will Cristiano Ronaldo start the game again? I think Ronaldo starts. Let's have a vote if it's going to be this formation anyway, which it might not be. We could be playing some sort of 4-2-2-2 German penis Rangnick formation, of course. The old cock and balls and shaft formation that he likes to play sometimes. So it could be that, or which would incorporate, maybe you could get Ronaldo and Cavani in there at the same time. But I think what's most likely to happen is Cristiano Ronaldo starts the game, plays, gets on the score sheet. We need to get him scoring for Pete's sake. Otherwise, it's going to be psychological blow for the lad. We've got to get him scoring. He gets on the score sheet, and then he comes off, 70th minute, 65th minute. And then Cavani gets on to get some warm up at his legs as well for the next fixture. So that's what I think is going to happen. But let us know who you think should start. Ronaldo should be dropped, says Mason M. I can understand that. Who do you think should start as striker, Ronaldo or Cavani? If you had it your way, let us know. There's over 100 of you legends in here, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for the preview and the late night team news. Do drop a thumbs up on it if you're just getting in here. Boost us up on the algorithm. Do drop a cheeky little like. It's free and it helps us out. And do get involved in the chat as we go along. And hit that subscribe button too. Right, so Ronaldo, I think, starts up top. Now, the left-hand side of the pitch, I've gone with Marcus Rashford. I think he's looked a bit better recently, apart from the last game. He has done well off the bench, though. Maybe that's the best place for him right now with Lingard starting. I don't know. But I just got a feeling that Rashford, being the more senior player in this important game, is going to come in and start. And over on the other side, Jadon Sancho did get a bit of a knock in the last game, but he should be physically fit to play for this one. And also in that regard, we don't even really have many people to call upon. So we might even have to play him if he's even 85%, unless you want to play Jesse Lingard. So, we don't have the wide players here really to cover for any major injuries or issues. So it's just as well that players like Varane didn't get any serious injury in the last game. And players like Sancho, wasn't anything more serious. So hopefully those guys will be back into feature, which will be excellent news, of course, for Manchester United, because we need them. Next up, guys, we can see we've got Bruno Fernandes. I think he picks himself really at this moment. I know he missed a sitter in the last game, but he's been better recently. And of course, he's Bruno, the Portuguese Magnifico. And then in the midfield, we've gone with McTominay and Pogba. I just think that's what Ralph's going to choose. Just based on the fact Fred's out and he seems to rate McTominay. McTominay, in my opinion, is just so hit or miss. I personally thought McTominay was pretty shite in the last game. I really did in the FA Cup. I just thought he was bang average. And that's what you sort of get from him. Some weeks he is very good, but I think he fancies playing against Burnley. So I think he's probably going to have a big game. I've got a feeling Scott McTominay's going to run the show if he plays. So Scott McTominay there and Paul Pogba coming back into the team as well. In my opinion, he's got to start really just because of who's fit and available. He did have a decent time of it last time out, and he should be reasonably fresh because he only played, 70 minutes? I'm not exactly sure exactly how long, but before he was substituted off, he was doing okay. It wasn't the most mesmerising performance. He still looked off the pace. He still looked a little bit laboured towards the end. Physically, fitness-wise, not quite there. Conditioning-wise, not quite there. Match sharpness-wise, definitely not there. But the guy's been out for 2 months. He's not the most consistent of players at the best of times, even if he was at 100% physical peak. So we've got to just wait for him to, get back into the flow. But I think that he's got to start. He's got to show what he can do, probably for another 65, 70 minutes. And then you substitute him off towards the end of the game. So Paul Pogba starting alongside McTominay is what I think will happen. And then the back line, really, it sort of picks itself based on the fact that, Telles is out with COVID. Eric Bailly's just come back from AFCON, maybe has a bit of a knock still with his ankle. That's what we heard about a week ago. Maybe that's still an issue. Lindelof, last we heard, had an illness. And of course, Dalot is doing better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka at this moment in time. So, guys, where do you think we've got that wrong? If you think there's going to be any changes, any differences there for the team, I'll just put it up in the corner there for anybody who wants to have a look at it when they're coming in. Do get your thoughts and opinions in about the lineup there. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously a strong enough lineup to beat the likes of Burnley. They're shite. I mean, they are hanging on for relegation this season. I personally think, being Sean Dyche the greatest manager in Burnley's history, everyone needs to respect me a little bit more. It's not my fault these lads are having absolute bloody mares. We're doing all the great training, we're doing all the same things we used to. They've just got no bloody balls. Sean Dyche's not happy at the moment, is he? He's in a relegation battle, and if he's not careful, he's going to find himself being the next Championship manager. He's got to sort himself out. Burnley got to sort themselves out. Let's hope. It's not against Manchester United. That's all I'm saying. Like, hopefully we do turn up and beat Burnley. They've been shite this season. They've been one of the worst teams in the league. That's where they are. That's why they are where they are. In terms of the form guide, guys, Sean Dyche's side are doing absolutely fucking dire. So this is their Premier League form guide. The last 6 games in the Premier League, they've lost, they've drawn, they've lost, they've lost, they've drawn, and they've drawn. That is absolutely shite. It's the 18th worst form in the Premier League right now. So based on that form, yes, they are going to finish in the relegation zone. Based on that sort of form, that is relegation form. Only problem I have with United is it doesn't matter who we've come up against recently. We sort of lower ourselves to the opposition standards. And it just seems like we struggle to beat anybody, even if they're a championship team. So, yes, Burnley will be fighting to save themselves from relegation. United need to turn up. There's big question marks about whether or not we can do that. And because of how gas-tastic we've been recently, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that we can do it. But I would like to think, based on the fact that they're 18th in the league in terms of form, and we've got the 5th best form in the league, having drawn with Newcastle, beat Burnley last time out, 1-0 against Wolves we lost. We drew with Aston Villa, which was another gash result. But then we've beaten Brentford, and we've, of course, beaten West Ham United in the last one, 1-0 in the league as well. So form-wise, in the league, at the very least, I know we got dumped out of the cup by a championship side, but in the league, at the very least, we are looking a little bit more consistent. Only 1 loss out the last 6 and 3 wins. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible form either in the league. If we win this one, that's it. We're fast getting back on track to where we need to be to have that sort of top 4 form. But right now, we're 5th in the form table in the Premier League. So we've got to increase that. We've got to do that tomorrow with a win against Burnley. In terms of score predictions, guys, let's get in there raw with a score prediction from everybody in the live chat. My score prediction is this. I think it's going to be a reasonably scrappy win for Manchester United, but I do think we're going to look quite comfortable in the end. I think it's going to be 2-0 to United. I don't see Burnley committing a lot of chances or creating a lot of chances. And I think Manchester United, although we probably still won't be as clinical as we need to be, I think we're going to be a lot more clinical than we were in the last game. There's a point to prove from these players now. You've got players who are super hungry, of course, in the side. People like Ronaldo, Bruno, who will not be happy with getting dumped out the FA Cup and a chance at silverware, and their individual performances in the last game. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo is not himself expectant of those sorts of gash chances not being put away. He must be furious with himself after that game for missing all those great chances, because that was one of those games where he actually did have some service. He just bottled it in front of goal, and that's uncharacteristic from him. He's got to obviously move on from that quickly. Hopefully he fires in a cheeky little double salvo tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, okay, so if we're looking at goal difference and things like that as well, you have to look at these things. The amount of goals that they've scored this season is the lowest, or second lowest, I should say, in the Premier League. So I'm just not worried about us conceding goals tomorrow. That's why I've gone with a clean sheet. They've only scored 16 goals in the whole Premier League campaign so far in 19 games, which is an absolute bloody joke. The worst team than that in terms of goal scoring is actually Norwich City on 13 goals, which is just absolutely laughable, isn't it? Manchester United, on the other hand, as shit as we've been, we've got 36. It is about the 5th best in the league. It's not brilliant, but in terms of goal scoring, that should tell a story. We are a better attacking team than Burnley. Burnley, if we get beaten by Burnley, if Burnley rip us up, it just goes to show you what a fundamental issue there is with this current Man United setup, regime, owners, manager, coaching, players, the whole lot. If we can't beat Poxy Burnley, who literally can't score a goal to save their lives this season. So their goal difference is -11 as well. The thing is with Burnley is, of course, they don't concede as many as some of the other teams at the bottom. They are sound defensively. So their goal difference is -11, but they've scored 16, but they've only conceded 27, which for a team that is at the moment bottom of the table, it's not actually that much, because if you look at Norwich, they conceded 45 goals, Watford 40, Newcastle 43, Leeds United 40. So Burnley really have got mid-table goals conceded. So in terms of breaking them down, that is going to be an issue. That's why they've got a bunch of draws recently as well. But anyway, United 2-0, guys. Get your score predictions in. Let's get into the live chat real quick. So I've been waffling here, haven't I? Let's get into the live chat, see what you guys think. 75 likes on the stream as well, guys. Do keep hitting the thumbs up. Let's get that to 100. And yeah, let's get this to 100 likes, guys. Smash that thumbs up on it. Burnley don't concede loads. That's spot on, Alex Walker. So they don't score a lot, but they also do not concede a lot. You know, they've got mid-table goals conceded, basically. So in terms of breaking them down, obviously they're going to be compact, they're going to be low, they're going to be hard to beat. And so for that reason, yeah, I don't see United scoring a lot of goals. But I just think with the quality players we've got on the pitch, the talents we have, Cavani, Ronaldo, Rashford, Bruno, all the rest of them, we should be capable of beating them. Now, I know we said that in the last game against Middlesbrough. I thought we were going to beat them 3-0 for fuck's sake. Look what happened. But they surely got to start putting it into motion, surely, soon. Is Greenwood coming back, says Alchem Mamu? Not anytime soon, mate. Not anytime soon. I personally think it's going to be hard for him ever to. But we'll see what happens. Innocent until proven guilty at this moment in time, mate. Anyway, okay, so Zayn Miasi, thank you so much for the super sticker of a cat with a face. Thank you so much, Zayn Miasi. How you doing there, man? Everyone's favourite Arsenal resident fan here. IQ Defcon says most racists just think they're superior people who say the N-word because someone misses a penalty generally isn't racist, even though that person is making a ridiculous mistake. I mean, you know, these people who abuse anybody online, you know, for how they look or, you know, their race, I personally think that's just the lowest of the low. I mean, what are you actually doing there? You're not even just criticizing somebody on what they've done, just in terms of missing the penalty. It's just something completely disgusting that you've targeted for, I don't know, whatever reason, because you're a sad, angry person, maybe. That must be the only reason at that moment. I don't know. I just can't imagine going online and sending that sort of stuff to anybody. So I don't know. I can't get in the mind of these fucking weirdos. You know what I'm saying there, my son IQ Defcon? But yeah, you're right. It's a disgrace, mate. Nobody deserves that. No way, Pig. We need a massive 5-0 win, says Mark Coughlin. G-Will says he's going 3-1 United. 3-1, says Zayn Miasi, to Burnley and 4-0 to Arsenal when you come to us. What a load of old cap there from Zayn Miasi. We're going to batter you at the Emirates Stand. We got 500 bones on that game, if you remember saying that's what you said. That's what you said. But to be honest, you know, you're a bit of a bottle job when it comes to that, aren't you? I'm just joking, mate. You're a legend, Zane. Thank you for all your continued support of the channel, mate. You're a don. Chrissy Jesus expecting a big performance and a clean sheet. They're in the bottom for a reason, says Chrissy J. Spot on, lad. Absolutely. Can't score. They don't concede that much, but they are bottom of the table right now in terms of, you know, where they are in the league, guys. They're actually bottom of the league. So if we can't beat bottom of the league Burnley, only have 13 points a season, then something seriously wrong. Think about how bang averagely shite Man United have been this year, right? And we're only just over halfway the season gone, really. And we've got triple the amount of points that Burnley do. Now, I know they've got a few games in hand, in all fairness. That's actually very true. But still, though, that's how shit they are this season. We should absolutely trounce them tomorrow, guys. And if we don't, well, sorry to say, but, well, you know, fucking the whole lot of them out. You know, it's as simple as that. They've got to go to Turf Moor and get the result tomorrow. There's no excuses. Like, there is no excuses. They have to get the win. Okay, let's get back into this. 3-0, look, Pogba, says Ryan Wiener. I can see Pogba having a great game. You expected a big performance, says Chrissy J. Clean sheet in the bottom for a reason. Absolutely. Rupert says Pig wants some Sean Dyche tactics. 4-4-2 long ball, 1 depth, 40 width. Everyone sit back and strike counter on defence. Classic. Jack Tilby says, please batter Burnley for us, then we can beat Everton and it can be happy days. G-Wall says, look, Ronaldo had a great chance to score from the spot. Do you think he should be rested for the next game? Interesting comment, G-Wolf, an interesting question. I mean, no. I personally think it sends the wrong message to Ronaldo and it sends the wrong message to the squad. He's such a talisman already for us. He is the leading scorer for us this season. We need to respect that. We need to give him a chance. Yeah, Edinson could probably come in and do a great job up there as well. But no, I actually think for now, you've got to stick with Cristiano. You've got to try and get him back into that goal-scoring form that we all know he's capable of. You know, the poacher in the box. You know, usually, crikey, we call him the most clutch player of all time. That's what we called him on this channel many times. We call him the clutch goat. Because when you need somebody to deliver, he's the man to call on, more often than not. Whether that's for Portugal or Real or whoever. He's always there just when you need him to be, usually. But he wasn't there in the last game, which is a big concern, and there's question marks about him aging. I still think he's the clutch goat. I think everybody's entitled to a shite game here and there. Nobody's perfect. Literally, nobody is perfect. Even the GOAT is not perfect. And I've got a feeling that in the next game, well, I think he's going to get himself a couple of cheeky little finishes. Now, maybe his style and everything's going to have to change, and it's changed over the years. But in terms of finishing, we can't doubt that just for that one performance. You can't doubt it just for one game. Stefan, what's going on? Stefan here, Antonio, mate. He says, I want a Sean Dyche impression. Well, to be fair, mate, we've already done one of those tonight. But if you really do, then, here it is. I think we're going to do well because my lads have been training a lot all week. We've been putting in the shifts. We've been doing lots of bits around Turf Moor. Tarkowski and the lads, they've been carrying tea trays around the stadium all game long, building their arm strength. We've also been making sure that they've been getting lots of massages. I've personally been administering lots of massages to the players and making sure that they were nice and relaxed before the game. Sorry, anyway. Yeah, sure. Sean, Zane Miassi says Overmars could be coming to Arsenal. Zane Miassi, mate. Oh my goodness me. Now that makes sense. That's a signing I could see for Arsenal. Anyway, right, hang on a second. Let's get back on track here, guys. We've been derailed. So Sean Dyche up against Man United tomorrow. They're trying to save themselves from relegation. I personally think they're gonna lose the game, but Sean Dyche is gonna celebrate by eating worms anyway. Okay, right. Hold on a second. So, expected Dean Henderson's going to be out. De Gea back in as well. Ronaldo should start. We'll see. Maybe Cavani comes in, but I personally think that won't be the case. Burnley will have Josh Brownhill back from suspension on Tuesday's game. And he's expected to go straight back into the midfield as well for them. They will also definitely be missing Matic Vidra as well. And Goodmanson, while Ashley Barnes and Charlie Taylor could also be unavailable for selection. Dyche is unlikely to make any alterations from the side that started the goalless draw with Watford. But Jay Rodriguez could be introduced alongside Weghorst, their new signing in the January transfer window, in the final third with Maxwell Cornet moving out wide. That's possible as well. Man United, though, expecting that Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes and Rashford probably start. We'll see. With Jesse Lingard and Edinson Cavani definitely being back in the squad. Rangnick said that. They'll definitely be back in the squad. Okay, then. So let's get on to the rest of it then, peeps. And then, of course, we do have a big Q&A at the end. Drop your thumbs up. We're nearly at 100 likes. Let's smash 100. And in terms of the form, we're looking better. They're looking awful. They're bottom of the table. Raphael Varane back looking fit as well, which is good. And in terms of team news, that's pretty much the latest. Yeah, Varane should be physically fit to play. It's just Tellez and Fred who are not available due to COVID-19, unfortunately for them. In terms of some head-to-head stats here, quite interesting because, Burnley are our whipping boys recently. So it says here, head-to-head stats, Burnley have lost their last 5 Premier League games, home matches, I should say, at Turf Moor. Not Premier League games, but home matches. They've lost the last 5 against Manchester United without scoring. So that does bode pretty well for United. They don't score against us at Turf Moor. We go there and batter them, basically. Our only defeat in this fixture, home or away, in the past 14 meetings came at Old Trafford in January 2020. We've literally won 9 and drawn 4 and lost that 1 out of the last 14 meetings. So, in terms of, obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean that much, but it just goes to show, we do have our wicked way with Burnley most of the time. So from that point of view, should be a comfortable victory. Man United have picked up more points at Turf Moor than they have at Old Trafford in the Premier League games against the Clarets. Manchester United have picked up more points at Turf Moor than they have at Old Trafford in Premier League games against the Clarets. So over all of the Premier League existence, when we've played them, we actually do better against them and in their back garden than we do in our own. So that's good in terms of away form and stuff like that. Maybe that is a good indicator. They just seem to crumble to United at home. So that's good. Only one of Burnley's 10 Premier League goals against United has been scored at home. Robbie Blake winner in August 2009. So they literally can't even fucking score at home against United, guys. You know what's going to happen tomorrow, don't you? After we've read out all these stats that literally show that Burnley cannot score or win a possible game against United. They're going to smash us up 5-0, mate. That's what's going to happen now. Bloody hell. Could you imagine? No. But seriously, these are damning stats for Burnley. They do shite against us at Turf Moor. Anyway, Burnley, it's 9 Premier League matches without a win now. They've only scored 2 goals in their past 7 games. So could we be playing a worse team? Not really. They're not really. We're We're ourselves doing poor, but in comparison, they're absolutely shot in the bed. So I think there's a very real possibility that we go there and batter them. I'm still sticking with my 2-0 prediction. I think it'll be a reasonably tight game. They don't concede that many. Yeah, but they are unbeaten in 5 Premier League home fixtures, but they've won just once in 18 games at Turf Moor. So they're really struggling for form at home here, guys. That bodes very, very well for us. On the other hand, we have taken 21 points from our last 10 league fixtures since the departure of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've won 6, we've drawn 3, and we've lost 1. So, that's the last... it's not bad. It's a little bit better. We need to turn some of those draws into wins, but it's a lot better for Manchester United in terms of just that sort of league form. Right, anyway, that's pretty much it for the head-to-head, guys, That's pretty much it. Some interesting stats there. Just goes to show you that Burnley don't do well against United at Turf Moor, which fills me with a little bit of confidence. But we all know that at times like these, when confidence is low, you've got to do your talking on the pitch, and statistics matter nothing. Especially, when you consider the last game of football we played was against the Championship team. We were expected to beat them. And, of course, that's not the way it went. So upsets can happen. And, unfortunately, if United were to be handed another upset right now, it would be a major kick to the love spuds of Ralf Rangnick for this season and for his hopes of getting us top 4 and his hopes of maybe staying on as Manchester United manager beyond the summer. Right kick to the old German love spuds right there. Right, just on another team now, very quickly, but we might as well talk about it because it's to do with our player. Donny van der Beek. Lampard confirms Donny van der Beek is in the Everton squad to face Newcastle. So that's good news. We're going to see a run up for Donny. Let's get a cheeky little hashtag free Donny in the live chat. Because hopefully he can develop well. And then when we see a new manager coming in this summer, if that's the case, maybe they might want Donny and Donny might flourish. He is still young. He could actually have a good few months here at Everton, revitalise his career, show us as United fans and show everybody what he can do playing regularly in the Premier League, see what he's capable of doing. And if he is given those opportunities, then we will find out in a short space of time. So looking forward to see Donny van der Beek playing for Everton, Really am. Okay, right. So Manchester United, just a bit of news then, guys. So we will get... that's basically the preview there, guys, for the show. 2-0, I think, is going to be the scoreline. I haven't told you my goal scorers. I'm going to go for Cristiano Ronaldo for both of them. I do think that he's going to get both of them. I think he loves to prove people wrong. I think he'll start the game. I think he'll get the service. I think we'll tear them apart. I think he'll Toby a few in the back of the net. So I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo brace. 2-0 to Manchester United. Have your say if you haven't. Zamiasi, thank you so much for another couple of super stickers. I've missed both of them, mate. Sorry, mate. Zamiasi, thank you for the game over super sticker. Let's get a soo in the live chat there for Zamiasi, man. And another one, a hippopotamus going, what? Thank you very much, Zamiasi. Let's get another soo in the live chat there for Zamiasi. I appreciate you, my man. And another one with a cat face as well. Zamiasi, let's get another soo in the live chat there for Zane. Thank you, Zamiasi. Appreciate that. Get in there. Yes, Nathan Best, we're going to get onto the transfer news very, very shortly. But yes, at least Andreas is leaving on a permanent. Absolute bloody looting, my son. But let's talk about this. So Manchester United add 2 players to the Champions League squad for Atletico Madrid fixtures. So, of course, with Ahmad going to Rangers and Donny van der Beek going to Everton and Tony Martial going to Sevilla, they've had to make some alterations, some changes to their Champions League squad for the last 16 tie against Atletico Madrid. Don't worry, though. We've lost Donny, Ahmad and Tony Martial from the Champions League squad. Don't worry, though, because we've added in Lee Grant and Phil Jones. I just read that and I just laughed at it. I was like, what? That's what we've done, actually. We've weakened ourselves. We're getting rid of Ahmed, Donny and Martial. And we've added Lee Grant and Phil Jones into the Champions League squad. Great to see Phil Jones getting back in there, though. Come on, Phil. Get in there, Phil No Bones Jones. Getting some love. Can I just take one moment to say, Lee Grant, who the fuck is that guy? I know we have seen him feature, but crikey, what a career he's had at United, eh, guys? Bloody hell. Is it me, or has he got, the most piss-easy job of all time? I don't know how much he's on a week. 10,000 a week? 20,000 a week? I don't know. Even if it's fucking 2,000 a week, it's a fucking amazing job. He does piss all. Lee Grant up top, says Max Arentz. I know, what does he do? Hold a fucking substitute board up sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, crikey, mate. He's got himself a pretty cushy gig there. Hey, Nate H. Thank you so much, Nate H, for giving me the $1.99 super chat there, bro. He says, club's taking the piss out in those two. I know, I read it. I thought it was like a complete troll bag, mate. They've taken Martial, Donny and Ahmad out of the Champions League squad, and we've added Lee Grant and Phil Jones. Why do we even need to add Lee Grant? We've got, like, we've got Henderson, we've got Heaton. Like, why do we even have to add Lee Grant? It's just weird, isn't it? Europe's finest shitting themselves now with Phil Jones in the squad. Are you serious, Rushmano? No way. He says Lee Grant is on 40 grand a week. Shocking. No way. Mate, that is shocking. If that's the case, that's worse than Paul Pogba being on 350k a week for the value we get for him. That's worse than Phil Jones being on 6 figures. Holy crapola. Could you imagine being paid 40 grand a week to do what he does for us? That is mental, mate. Anyway, I don't know why he's still at United unknown. It's embarrassing. Wasn't he given a new contract recently as well? Fucking shocking. Hey there, Eddie's Football Waffle. What's going on, my man? He says, is Grant going to get a game? Crikey, maybe if we're 5-0 up or something. Jones for captain, says OP Dragon. We've got 200 fucking legends in the live chat tonight. Thank you for joining us for the preview show. Do have your say, get involved, where we're almost getting to the Q&A part. I've got a few little more bits of United news to cover, but we will get into the Q&A shortly. Get involved, peeps. Make sure you subscribe. You only need to be subscribed for 1 minute to chat in the live chat with everyone. So hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And also drop that thumbs up on the video. Let's see if we can get this to 150 likes. And also click that post notification bell to be reminded when we go live. Right, so yeah, just wanted to tell you that if you hadn't have heard, we have added a couple of players to our Champions League squad, and it's Phil Jones and also Lee Grant. Right, let's get on to the transfer news here. So we have got some transfer news to do with Manchester United. It's another player that is contracted at United that is going out, and it is Andreas Pereira. We've been talking about the last couple of days, but it will not be that long, it seems, until he is leaving us. It seems like a permanent agreement has been reached between the two clubs. Flamengo, of course, over in Brazil. They're pushing hard to sign him on a permanent basis, and here's the latest update. I'll just move that squad now. Here's the latest update from Fabrizio Romano this evening, or maybe not the latest, but an update from a little while ago. And that was what that says is Andreas Pereira's permanent deal will cost around 10.5 million euros to Flamengo, including a 25% sell-on clause confirmed by Fred Caldera. Manchester United are ready to accept. Deals at the final stages, new contracts in the coming hours to prepare paperwork. So it is very much, nearly done and dusted. I mean, let's get a little hashtag good luck Andreas in the chat. He seems like a nice kid. Just not United quality, really not United quality. He's pretty much the Brazilian Tom Cleverley, let's be honest. Like, very much. In fact, no, he's even worse than that. Tom Cleverley's got a fucking Premier League trophy. Nobody can take that away from him either. So, but in terms of crikey, in terms of what he's done for United and any time he's really played for us, he just doesn't seem to have that ability to really create or have that proper range of passing, that killer pass or whatever you need to be an elite level player here for United. So it does make sense. Get rid of him, cash in. And that's actually good money, I think, to get for him as well. I know, he's got some time left in his career. He could hopefully go on and do some good things. But he's not United quality. And to get anywhere near that money, it's good. But we've got to go and actually invest that money somewhere else in the side. Like, that's not what we're going to be doing more than likely. As if we included a sell-on. Christ above, says David Best. I know, yeah. Including a 25% sell-on clause. Finally gone, but good luck, Andreas. Thanks for the wonder preseason goals, says Finney McCrossin. Good point as well, actually. Yeah, the preseason Messi, mate. You know what I'm saying? He's better than about 5 or 6 others at United, says CJ Bullies. I mean, who are you referring to, though? Is he really? I mean, I think Lingard's better than him. He's not really. He wouldn't get anywhere near the first team, would he? He's the average Jemba of goalkeeper, unfortunately, Lee Grant, says Vincent Bullock. Yes, Wiggy, mate, we've got 52,000 subscribers now, mate. Thank you for pointing that out, man. Appreciate all of you for subscribing, all the old subscribers, all the new subscribers. If you're new, subscribe. Get us to 53,000. Cheers for that, Wiggy lad. Yeah, that's it. Preseason Perlo. That's it. He goes from preseason Perlo to postseason Phil Mitchell. Mum. Yeah. Palmeiras preseason Perlo, that's what I meant to say. Rangnick doing what he's good at, says Amit Kumar. Yeah, getting these players out, generating that money as well, clearing things out. It's a good point. He has been quite ruthless since he's come in, which is good to see. The 10.5 million is going to the Glazers' pockets. And by the way, 10.5 million, daylight robbery. I know we've got a decent amount of money there, haven't we? But yes, you're right, bro. Like, it probably won't be invested properly like we want it to. LYM says, hi there, thanks for keeping us updated. Good luck to him. It's unfortunately didn't work out. I know, yeah, unfortunate. Just doesn't quite have that ability, unfortunately. Thank you, Wiggy Lad. Right, guys, let me just cover the rest of the news. Then we will have a Q&A. But Andreas Pereira does look very close to joining Brazilian side Flamengo on a permanent deal. Obviously, he's over there playing for them right now anyway. But there's another report here that there's a verbal agreement and all sorts of stuff in place, and it's basically done. So yes, I think it looks like that's the case. Also, Rob Dawson from ESPN reporting very similar that United are asking around about £10 million plus a sell-on clause for Andreas Pereira, so that would add up. Similar amount. Just got this information, just a response from Eddie Howe, of course, linked to signing one or two of our players in the January transfer window. And he was asked about Jesse Lingard earlier on, and he did respond and just said a little something about Lingard. And this is what he had to say. So he was just asked about, obviously, the situation. And he just went on to say this: Jesse Lingard is a player I have always admired. He said this to the Chronicle. And he said, Jesse Lingard is a player I have always admired. And that's probably the best thing to say. That's what he said. So, but that does, in my opinion, what that means is, yes, I'm going to be coming for Jesse Lingard in the summer 100%, Without saying it, he's not going to say, because obviously he is a United player right now. He's not going to say that. But that's pretty much what that means is he is interested in Jesse, and the interest will be there in the summer. So we are expecting there to be a bit of a trident of teams, a trio of teams who are fighting it out for Jesse Lingard's signature in the summer, including Manchester United. I personally think that Man United will bottle it big style, like we always do, and maybe even sign him up to a new deal, especially if he plays quite a lot between now and the end of the season and does well. Because the Glazers and, you know what our board's like, finance-wise, etc., they're tighter than the Ducks' butt. They don't want to fucking spend the money really properly, fully ambitiously. So they might just go, oh, you know what? We could go and sign a new player to replace Mason Greenwood for the future, Or we could just sign Jesse up to a new deal. I wouldn't put it beyond them. But anyway, there are obviously a couple of other clubs that are probably more likely to get his signature, because I think Jesse does want to move, and I think Jesse does want regular first team football, and he does want to get into that England team for probably his last ever chance of getting into a World Cup. So from his point of view, this now or never really to go and get regular first team football in the summer. So it's West Ham United or Newcastle United, but there may well be another offer from a team elsewhere in the summer. You just don't know. If he is to leave Manchester United as a free agent, he'll be in a very, very strong position where he can get a big sign-in on fee, can probably get a really good, strong contract compared to what would be offered in January anyway. So I think, it's a good move for Jesse going to Newcastle, especially as they will build over the next few years, and probably give it 5 years, they'll be challenging for the title. Maybe even sooner. I hope not. But give it 5 years, I think they'll definitely be in and around up there, just because that's like 9 or 10 transfer windows. And I think they could definitely get the players in that they need then as well. And I think Eddie Howe actually is a great coach. At Bournemouth and Burnley, he laid some good foundations there. Obviously did great at Bournemouth, keeping them in the Prem for 5-6 years, whatever. Crikey, unbelievable stuff. So with the resources that Newcastle have, I think they're in good hands with Eddie Howe. Obviously, he's still got to perform. He's still got to save them from relegation this year. But I think he will. Anyway, so there's the latest on Jesse, still heavily linked to Newcastle, and Eddie Howe just sort of insinuating as much that the interest is definitely still there. Right then, so also, reports coming out in Spain about Ronaldo and just bullshit reaction, knee-jerk bollocks journalism from Spain, if you ask me. Just a few articles I saw about, Ronaldo's asked agent George Mendes to seal a move to Real Madrid in the summer and all this stuff. Look, if it continues as it is for Ronaldo at the club, yes, in the summer he will want to leave. But right now, Cristiano Ronaldo, I think he needs our support. I think he needs faith from the manager as well. He needs to be given the game time to be able to score, get back on track, and fire himself back into that vein that we know he's capable of doing. So from that point of view, it's all just bollocks, just try and get clicks. And I don't know if any of you saw that today, but I'm sure if it continues as it is, he probably will want to leave in the summer. But right now, he is a committed Manchester United player. And I really don't think that that's the case, that he's instructed his agent to look at anything already. You know, we've got to wait now, of course, to what happens. We're still in the Champions League, for Pete's sake. We could go on and lift it this season. It's probably not going to happen because we're absolutely jank. But we are technically still in it. No Greenwood update, says Retro Unlimited. Not at the moment, mate. No, I've got nothing for you on Mason. Still the same situation. Police investigation pending, and he's already been released on bail. That is the situation. We'll bring you all the latest on Mason Greenwood as and when it happens, but right now, nothing new, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so yes, this is just a little bit of information, of course, about some quotes from Rangnick from earlier as well. He said on the players being more private, he says, I never ever read or communicate by those social media accounts. I don't exist there, and I wouldn't have time to do that. So therefore, it's always better to keep things in-house, and I always communicate with the players directly. So he's old school here. You know, we talked about, you know, social media FC and all this stuff. Rangnick's pretty old school. I think he's pretty old school in his approach. He's not prepared to mollycoddle these players as much as some of the previous managers. I think that's clear by what he said about Martial in the presser a couple of weeks ago, and what he said about Lingard in the last one, about him needing to clear his head and all this stuff. I think he's a bit more firm. He's a bit more brutal. He's a bit more old school, which I like. Anyway, right, guys. But at the same time, you know, he is still ultimately, at this moment in time, seemingly a puppet for the Glazers. Let's be honest. So fucking hashtag Glazers out. Let's get those Glazers out. I'll say it every single episode or stream that we do, guys. Hashtag Glazers out. Get those parasites out of our club, because they're a toxic cancer at the top of this this wonderful, wonderful football club that we all love. And while they're here, we'll never be able to compete with the likes of City, Chelsea, probably Newcastle now, who have all these mega rich owners who do invest and have the ambition in their team. Anyway, shocking news now on regards to Mark Overmars. He has left after cross-border messages sent towards several women colleagues at the club. There's a quote from Majard here. I guess he's got something to do with Ajax Day. He says, this is dramatic. It's devastating for the women who have had to deal with the behaviour. Overmars has really gone over the line. Mark Overmars has left his role as Director of Football Affairs at Ajax after the Dutch club said he sent a series of inappropriate messages to several female colleagues. An Ajax statement said the former Arsenal and Barca winger would leave with immediate effect. Yeah, so that's not good, is it? He said himself that he feels ashamed and that his behaviour was unacceptable. He says, unfortunately, I didn't realise that I was crossing the line with this, but that was made clear to me in recent days. I wonder how bad it was. You know what I mean? Like, I do wonder how bad it was. Like, I know you're not supposed to... I wonder if he's just, like, messaged some receptionist downstairs and just said, crikey, you were looking absolutely stunning today, love. I would like to think it's a lot worse than that. You know what I mean? Like, for them to sack him off. Surely it's a lot worse than that in terms of, you know, I think maybe the content must be pretty lewd. That's all I can really say. I'm just speculating here. This is sheer speculation. But it must be very lewd content, right? You know? Or can you just get sacked and ashamed and disgusted and tossed to the pile for saying someone's bit tasty? You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess maybe you can. Oh, Mr. Super Chat, hey Gungshi, what's going on, mate? I hope you're doing well. But then we don't know the content here. Probably he has said some things that are very much over the line and bordering on, you know, the sexual harassment. Jonathan, thank you very much for a £2 super chat, lad. He says, Dan Ashworth is set to sign to be our director of football, says Jonathan. You what? Is he really? You what? Fucking hell. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Come and get a sue in the chat there. Thank you very, very much for getting it, Jonathan. Newcastle Scamaire. Solo, the Man United agenda. What's going on, mate? He says Pogba will be like a new signing for us. Yes, mate, I'm with you on that. I think Rangnick must be looking forward to having him as an option, having had just Matic, the Frankenstein, little Freddie Flintstone, and Scott Shotty McTominay to choose from for the midfielders this season. I think you're absolutely right. So, yeah, I think Pogba coming back into the side, I think he showed that in the last game. He wasn't amazing, but I think he certainly looked pretty decent considering he'd been out for a couple of months. Has Donny gone on to Everton on loan or has he gone for good? Adam, at the moment it's just a loan with no option to buy or anything in the future. Hey there, Jamie, what's going on? Thank you guys for getting in here with your thoughts and opinions, everyone. I appreciate you. Right, okay, so just one or two more things I wanted to discuss before we get into the live chat. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long show. I've been waffling a lot, but I just wanted to talk about all these different things. Next up, the next thing I want to discuss, just very quickly, is that Barcelona closes an agreement with Spotify for £280 million, euros, for 3 seasons. That's what we're hearing, guys. Barcelona and Spotify. Barcelona will announce their new deal, of course. So, yeah, seems like they're back in the money. We talked about them being skint. Well, they did, of course, buy players still recently, even Ober and stuff like that. But they were understood to have taken a loan out or something. Well, this could be a big, big deal for them if this is true. 280 million euros over 3 seasons for them to be sponsored by Spotify. There you go. Right, okay, so that's basically the preview, guys. That's the latest team news. That's the latest Manchester United news as well. Andreas Pereira to Brazil, Flamengo, permanent deal, looking likely to be announced very, very soon. Pretty much agreed. We've got no Tellers tomorrow, no Fred. But we should see, hopefully, a good positive result for United against Burnley. Let's get in the live chat, see what you legends have got to say for yourself. We're having a bit of a Q&A now. I am back on later for FIFA as well. Do us a massive favour, guys. I'll say it one more time. Smash that like button. Where are you? Let's be having you. Like Spike. Do us a favour. Help us compete with some of the clickbait merchants, the corporation channels, etc. Drop your thumbs up. It's free. Help us out. And have your say in the chat now. Get involved. It's Q&A time, baby. Oh, let's go. Okay, let me get the chat up on my computer here, guys. Lots of you legends getting in here today. It's great to see. It's great to see. Lots of you legends getting in. 196 legends. Yeah, that is mega bucks for a 3-year contract, Craigie D. Could not agree more, mate. Like, very much a big amount of money generated by Barca there. You don't see us going for the Champions League, says Jonathan Gallagher. I can't see us winning it either. Middlesbrough's first goal was Pogba's fault, says Richard Rojas. You mean that bullshit? You mean that bullshit hand of God bullshit handball goal? Pereira to Brazil in time for the carnival. Hey, Mark Harris, what's going on, man? He says, good evening, guys. Hope you're well. Classy stream as always. Thank you so much, Mark Harris. Hope you're good. Vinny Bullock says we've only got 92 likes. You what? I thought we had over 100, mate. Smash those likes, guys. Well, there you go, Adam Salah. 90+ million a year, says the Vutinator. You will watch my watch-along tomorrow. Thank you, Naz. Yeah, we'll be getting going about half an hour before the game tomorrow. We always do watch-alongs for every Manchester United game. Do make sure you get yourselves involved for the watch-along. We're starting, half an hour before kickoff. He was jogging, says Richard Rojas. So you're talking about Pogba, right? The thing is, he's only just come back, right? He needs a bit of time. Does need a bit of time. But he's not the most, what's the word, tenacious of players anyway, I don't think. What time's FIFA? Around about half an hour, 45 minutes. Yes, yep. Fabrizio Romano's a tap-in merchant, says unknown. Thank you, Craigie D, for that, bud. Thank you, Craigie D, for that. So, yeah, Q&A time. Get your opinions in. Snog, marry, avoid Phil Jones, Luke Chadwick, Paul Pogba. I'm going to avoid that whole question. To be honest with you, mate, I'm going to leave that for someone else. I have heard the Mason Greenwood voice recording, leaked voice recording, alleged voice recording. I have, Adam Salah, yeah. It made for disgusting listening, my friend. This season may as well be for over for us, says Jonathan Gallagher. Richard Rojas, fair player. Pogba can jog on, says Stefan. Look, my personal opinion is, yes, in the summer, Jogba can go. Jogba, I just called him Jogba. I don't even mean to. But yeah, people do call him Jogba. It makes sense. He does jog. So, Jogba, no, not Jogba, Pogba. People are saying he's leaving, they wouldn't be bothered to see him go this summer. Neither would I. I'm not bothered about it at all. But he's another one that I could see United bending over for to try and keep with the situation as it is with the Glazers not liking spending money. Because let's face it, even paying Mino Raiola 25 million euros and paying Paul Pogba 10 million euros, even that in a lot of ways is cheaper than going out there and signing, a different top quality player, Ruben Neves or Ndidi or somebody else for 50, 60 million pounds. So I wouldn't be surprised if Man United do actually sign up Paul Pogba to a new contract. But he's not worthy of one, in my opinion. He's not deserving of one. And even if he was to have a great few months, even if he was to have a fantastic few months here, it's probably just for a new contract, or it's probably just to get a big fat move away in the summer. So the proof is in the pudding with Paul Pogba at United over the last 6 years. He's been absolutely bang averagely dog turd shite for too long. No, I haven't seen that one, Stevie Mack, either, mate. Crikey, what's going on? What's going on with footballers, mate? No, I haven't seen it. Crikey, I'll have to look into it. We are better with Pogba, says Craigie D. That's a good question and a good point. I think you're absolutely spot on. We do need him right now. I mean, Fred is good sometimes, McTominay's good sometimes. So is Pogba. But I think if on their day, who's the best on their day? It's obviously Paul Pogba. When he turns up, Paul Pogba can be absolutely unplayable. You know, he can wait those perfect passes. He can tear teams open. He's got all the range of passes. He's got all the creativity in the bag. So I agree. On their day, Paul Pogba's better than any of them. How many players do you honestly think will come in the summer? I say 2, says Madhouse. How many do you guys think? How many signings do we get? We need about 5. We'll probably end up getting 2. Yeah, you're probably right, Madhouse. Yeah, United Iconic. What's going on? Says Piggy. Hi there, United Iconic. I hope you're doing well. Yet he's amazing for France, says Stefan Harringtonio. 2 things, isn't there? There's a possible, I don't know, lack of interest playing for United. I don't know why there would be, but maybe, let's just say that's not the case. Maybe you could argue that, of course, France have got a great team. He's got the likes of Kante there. That's what people like to say, that they've got Kante there, so it frees up Pogba. Well, maybe that's true. Maybe if we had Kante, it would free up Pogba. The problem is United, we don't develop players to the next level, says Unknown. We haven't done it well over the last few years, I think. Of course, actually, well, Mason Greenwood was developing well until we know what's happened, of course. That was one example of somebody that was. Rashford, obviously, we've developed him well up until this season. He's looked kind of gash. So it's all gone backwards. And then in terms of other players that we've developed, yeah, I mean, it's Maguire over the last couple of years has gone backwards. It's just not good. Any FIFA tonight, says CL. Yes, mate, we'll be back on in 45 minutes, bro. Sublime Line says Zuma basically kicked his cat across the kitchen. Smacked it. What? Are you joking me? Is that alleged? Is that alleged or is that proven? Let's be careful with that one again. But fucking hell, what? Fucking unbelievable, mate. Anyway, yeah, if that's disgusting if it's true. That is disgusting if it's true. So, yeah, guys, you know, should be able to beat Burnley tomorrow, but there's a good chance that we don't. I think it's a matter of time, really, until, well, Sean Dyche's fighting for his job, isn't he? They're in the relegation zone. They've got a few games in hand. If they win their games in hand, everything will be kind of rosy again. But right now, they're hanging on by a thread into the Premier League. You like Fred? He plays in the first team of Brazil. Past the Fred. Hey, fair play, Richard Rojas. I like him too. I like his personality. I like his effort levels. I like his character. I just like him. He's a nice guy. And also, he works hard. Nobody works harder, in my opinion. Fred works so hard for the team. He's constantly running. He never gives up. He's in the tackles. He does put in a shift every single game. And not got no fault in his effort levels at all. Only problem is, technically, he's gash-tastic, isn't he? That's the only problem. Technically, you might as well have a fucking used teabag out there on the pitch. You know, did you see that chance he had against Middlesbrough the other day when he's played through edge of the area? Sitter of an opportunity, mate. What? I can't fathom how he could strike that into Rose Ed like that. He's so gash technically in some instances. When it comes to shooting, I'd say that's definitely true. Passing's bang average also, if we're being honest. He gives it away a lot. So, as much as I like him, as much as he does play for Brazil, as much as he is a good player, as much as he is a good character, he's not technically gifted enough to be United. I kind of have a rough, I do I eat worms? Yeah, I do eat worms like Sean Dyche, that's right, to be fair. A few people say I sound like Sean Dyche anyway, it's because I'm a smoker, and I've got what I call cheese grater lungs. So, you know, my voice always sounds like a bit like Sean Dyche anyway. But so it's not that hard for me to do a Sean Dyche impression, although I've actually got a bit of a sore throat today, and so it's making it a bit harder to do. But no, Sean Dyche, you know, he's a manager of Burnley, and I think once again, what we've got to do is make sure we win the game tomorrow against Manchester United so we can stay up in the Premier League, because I'm not getting relegated to the Championship. I'm not managing the Championship. I'm a Premier League manager. I'm a top-tier manager. Really, I should be managing one of the top 4 teams, not Burnley anyway. Anyway, I'm off to eat some worms. Fred is supposed to be your engine, not your creator, says Jonington. And that's what he is. He's definitely not our creator, but he's not good enough technically on the ball, I think, when he wins the ball back to get us going. None of our attacking players could finish against Middlesbrough, says Gangshi. No, that's it. Clinicality, big issue there. Must improve that hugely for the next game. I couldn't agree more, Gangshi. Like, even Ronaldo, the clutch goat, couldn't hit the target. How did Bruno miss that sitter too? Yeah, absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace of a shot. Sean Dyche, yeah, that's right, now 786. My name's Dyche and I love Burnley. You Sean Dyche in disguise. You Sean Dyche in disguise. Hang on a sec, Rushmano. Thank you so much, Rushmano, for sending me some updates through here live, bud. Interesting. So check this out. This is quite interesting. Thank you. Some stats on Fred here. So among Man United players in the Premier League this season, Fred ranks first for ball recoveries. Most ball recoveries, 133. Most tackles, 50. And most interceptions, 20. A standout there for those sorts of statistics, obviously, from a defensive point of view. Like we said, he puts a shift in, he wins the ball back a lot. He does that brilliantly. He's an energizer bunny in the midfield of the park. But he also gives the ball away a lot with his erratic passing. That has to be said. If he could pass, my goodness me, he'd be the complete midfielder for us. If he could actually pass, man, he'd be excellent, because he does win it back a lot. He does have that energy. He does have that pace, that speed, that fitness, that stamina you need to run around for the whole entire game. I've got no updates on Pellistri's progress, actually, Harshan Lake. I don't really know too much about what he's up to at the moment, mate. Obviously, he's on loan, but I don't know how he's getting on myself. Craigie D says his last game, not loads, but he contributed. 30, we had 30 attempts on goal. Sean Dyche in disguise. Have I seen the net spend of the last decade? We have the most net spend and we don't have the titles to show for it. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, they've spent it ridiculously poorly. They might have spent quite a bit of money on paper, but they have spent it poorly. Scaldy1234, thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you're new, don't do what Scaldy's done and hit that subscribe button. Drop a thumbs up on this video as well if you are new. Let's get it to 150 and get your opinions in for the last few minutes of the show. Gunshi says, I like Fred, but he shouldn't be allowed to shoot. That's right. Yeah, they should put a no-shoot rule on him, mate, even if he's 2 yards out. I think we had the same chances we had against Borough. Again, we would win 2 or 3-0 90% of the time, just on a bad day at the office. Good point, Stevie Mac. We could have had that wrapped up 3 or 4-0 at half-time. You're absolutely right. You know, we should be able to beat Burnley. They've barely created chances and scored goals this season, and they just don't score a lot. I'm not worried about them ripping us open or beating us or having any... You know, they might get some chances from set pieces, things like that. I just don't think so. I think we're going to batter them. The worst we can hope for, I personally think, is a draw in this game, like a 0-0 bore draw, gash, like can't break them down, kind of horrible, can't take your chances, type horrible game. But I still think we're going to win 2-0. Ralph's first half tactics were spot on. I agree as well, Madhouse. Yep. You know, penalty for Ronaldo, plus he's missed a couple of sitters. You know, Bruno's hit the post in the second half as well. Lots of chances missed. If they'd been converted, we'd have been talking about how he got it all right. And none of us really talked about how he got it all wrong, because as you say, in the first half, we did get it seemingly right, but we just couldn't cap off the opportunities. Police, you got an assist for Uruguay. Get in there, Max Arentz. That's awesome. You don't know what he looks like, T-Mill? Google is your friend, lad. United Iconic says the fact that Fred has won the ball so much is a testament to the fact that we have not controlled the match. That's also a fair point, United Iconic. He says, I bet you Fabinho has less ball recoveries because you have the ball most of the time. Yeah, and Man City's midfield definitely would have a lot of less ball recoveries because their possession stats are so high. So that's actually a really interesting point you make there, United Iconic. It's more of a damning indictment of how shit the team are at keeping the ball. Still, though, he's done well at winning it back. Trust us, make Burnley look like prime Arsenal, says T-Mill. I think Bruno starts tomorrow, Dan Griffiths. Yeah, how can he not? He's the Portuguese Magnifico. Get Martinelli from Arsenal. No, thank you. Watch Fred score a 30-yarder in the next game, says Eddie's Football Waffle. Eddie, I will eat my hat if Fred scores a banging 30-yarder in the next game. I will eat my hat. Piggies never know what you get from us, says Jonathan. No, you're true. Well, the only thing we're guaranteed from United is inconsistency. Craigie says we'll smash Burnley 3-1, have faith. What about Fred's goal against Palace? Well, okay, I'm not saying he's never scored in his life. I'm just saying that he's you know, and that was a good goal. I'm just saying it's, you know, it's a rare thing. It's like hen's teeth, mate. FIFA tonight, yes, indeed. Geordie Heaton will be back in just over half an hour. Thank you for subscribing there, Dan Griffiths. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much gonna wrap this one up. Jonathan says Bruno Fernandes was shite versus Middlesbrough. But I disagree, mate. You know what I would say is his finishing was shite, and it went on in the extra time, and you know, towards as the game went on, it got shite. But actually, I honestly thought that first half performance, Bruno was faultless in the first half. Because he's receiving the ball in the midfield. He's got one thing on his mind. Get his head up, run forward, drive and run forward, and find a teammate with a pass, a siving pass. He did that numerous times. He got Ronaldo through and on goal a couple of times. Ronaldo just shat his opportunities. So in the first half, I thought Bruno ran the show. He also hit the post. If he scores that, you're not saying what you just said. But he was that far away from doing it. So I don't think that Bruno was that bad in the last game. I just think that he's bottled it in the key moments like everybody else did. But he was one of the better players on the pitch for me, actually. In the first half, I must say in the second, as it went on, you know, he did leave us exposed a bit. He did get, you know, he didn't have a great enter the game. But I think in the first half, he looked so very much, influential. We signed the one Brazilian that can't shoot. That's the reason why even Portugal doesn't play Bruno and Ronnie together, says Harshan. Interesting. Those tactics I gave you yesterday, I've tweaked a few things. Oh, fair play, Rupert Miller. Okay, we'll have a look into it. Guys, I'm gonna wrap this preview up there. Then I've just seen it's 10 past 11. Big up yourself as well from Jamaica, Greg McDonald. Much love to you, my man. Thank you so much. What I would love you guys to do, actually, is we've got, I don't know if you saw it, there's some great content on the channel earlier. So Mark B has been in Manchester, Old Trafford there, obviously, today, talking to fans today, getting their predictions and their thoughts and their reactions, obviously, on the last game, but also on the game tomorrow. It's fan predictions video, so we go around Old Trafford and ask fans, what they're thinking and stuff like that. I'm going to put it in the live chat. Please do us a massive favor at the end of this show. Go and watch it. New video. Go and watch it there. It's also pinned to the top of the live chat. Do us a favor. These uploads that we're doing, these extra content, the fan predictions, the fan cams, they really do need all your support in the world, guys. Flying Pig needs you to go over there, watch it, interact with it, comment on it, like the videos, all that sort of stuff. Honestly, if you enjoy that sort of content, if you want there to be more Manchester United content or that sort of stuff, please do show your support. Smash the like, share it around, give it a share. How hard is it to press share and put it on your Twitter page, mate? How fucking hard is that? Give it a cheeky little tweet or something like that. Share it around. It's a fan prediction show for tomorrow night's game against Burnley. So go over there, get your predictions on that video as well. So we all got your predictions in the live chat here, but they're not going to stick around. Come back after this video, of course, put it in on this video, get your score predictions, team news, team lineups that you want to select in the live chat. In the not live chat after this video. But also go over there too and get your predictions on that video too. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Gungshi, thank you so much for a 170 NT super chat here at the end, lad. He says, Pig, my buzzing loins have predicted a 3-0 victory tomorrow with goals from Ronaldo, Pogba and Bruno. Get in there, my son. Have some of that Daichi. Oh, I don't like the sound of that one, Gungshi, mate. No. I'd much rather a 0-0. Thank you, Eddie's Football Waffle. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much, dude, for watching and getting in there. As always, what a top man. Sunset Boulevard as well. Eddie's Football Waffle, Gungshi. Thank you so much, Philip Chapman, Amit Kumar, Max Arendt, Stephen Carr, you legend. He balled for Uruguay. Check out the highlights. Get in, Stephen Carr. Gonna have to check that out. Gonna watch Palestri's highlights against Uruguay. Sounds good. Yeah, there's Mark B Television right there in the chat. Hey, Mark B, he's our fan cam legend. What's going on, Mark? He says, check out the predictions videos, my friends. Guys, go and click the link at the top of the live chat. I'm going to end this preview show here. Please do smash the like on this video before you go and subscribe and all that. You can follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and TikTok. Also the website, unitedflyinghigh.com, for your latest Manchester United news to read as well. You can read it on the shitter. Go and show some love to those prediction shows and of course, all the content that's coming up over the next few days. Thank you, guys. Stefan, Mark, Gungshi, Craigie, Overfloater, Jonathan Gallagher, Naz, Philip Chapman, Wiggy, your legend, Craigie D, Johnny Gallagher, United Iconic, Rush Mano, Sunset Boulevard, Ashy89, Max Arendt, and everyone else. That's the end of the preview show then. Come back with your thoughts and opinions on score lines and team predictions, lineups, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow for the watch along about half an hour before kickoff, where we'll be back to smash up Sean Dyche's Burnley and make it eat fucking worms. See you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Come on, United! Go and check out that preview video, guys. Once again, shout out to all the members here. This is going to be updated soon with the newest members as well. So if you're not on this list, you will be very, very soon. Much love, everyone. Go and watch the new video. Here it is in the chat once again, and I'll catch you in a bit for FIFA also. Soon. bye.